LANKYBEAT, putting the English Red Rose County of Lancashire on the world's rock and roll map. Yeah. Today we've got a very special show for you all. My name's Bill Hart, and I've got with me a very special guest or two. Yeah, we're in the company of some American guys who've come over here to play a few songs for us. And what we've got is the Sixth Generation. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourselves and who you are, starting off this side near the nearest microphone?
My name's Dave Wallenga, better known as Big D, and I'm the drummer.
Ron Hamrick, and I'm a keyboard player.
Paul Davies, they call me the General, and I play bass.
And George Hulse, and I'm another keyboard player.
And
my name is Fred Bachman, and I play the guitar, and I sing a few songs.
And sat down at the other side of the studio there, we're not going to forget the company we got in the studio, is Brandon, and he does a little bit of work on the sound side of things, yeah?
Yep, my name is Brandon Hamrick, and I'm the sound engineer for the Sixth Generation.
Fantastic. Welcome, you guys. Without ado, first track, here we go. That Was the Time.
It was happy chaos then, groovy times, yet the war would just not end. Racial strife that the hippies loved all day, music flowed, still the man had final say. And the times kept on rolling by. And the songs kept us flying high. And the songs kept us flying high. That was the time. That was life in a time when we were young, and the songs that we sang were such great fun. Hear the beat, we can dance away the night. There's no doubt, music always made things right. And the times kept on rolling by. And the times kept on rolling. And the song kept us flying high. And the songs kept us flying high. That was the time. The years have flown right by, but those times are so clearly on my mind. Like a song you can check out anytime, but you can't ever leave those times behind. And the times, they keep on rolling by. And the songs keep us flying high. And the songs keep us flying high. That was the time. That was
song. Ron is a member of the sixth generation, and there's 5 members in the band, as we've already heard, and introduced themselves. And they started off in the 60s in a little area in the United States called Michigan, and also Virginia. Am I right? Just explain a little bit about that geographically, where you guys are from.
We are originally from Michigan, all of us. We all grew up in the same town together. We went to school
Which was what?
together.
Which town was that?
Niles, Michigan.
Niles, Michigan.
It's
in Niles.
Niles, yes. Yeah. And we all went to school there together. We originally formed the band in 1966.
Right.
And we actually, the song "That Was the Time" actually is a reference back to those days. Back in 1967, we had a regional hit in the area called "This Is the Time,"
Right.
which is also on our CD, by the way.
We'll play that
the
later.
original
Play that.
67 cut is on there, actually, remastered. And that was the time when we took a 40-year hiatus where we were not playing together.
Right. Absolutely.
And when we got back together 3 years ago, all of the original members, I wrote that song as really an autobiography of us.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a built-in reference really to "This Is the Time,"
Yeah.
but it really transitions from what it was like back in those days to now we're playing again. This is the time.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, David Willinger, the drummer, and you know, he's got a little bit to add to that in terms of the kind of influence that took place back then. What was the kind of influence? Where did you get your idea of forming a band from, for a start? What kind of music were you listening to?
Well, we were listening to everything coming out of Chicago on WLS radio, which was the largest broadcaster. And I can still remember sitting in the living room of our neighbors and watching the Beatles on Ed Sullivan for the first time. And I really think that really influenced me to make music. I wanted to make music. I wanted to be a drummer. And I don't know why, but it seemed to have worked and seemed to have taken. But that the whole British invasion, and then of course the American bands that we patterned ourselves after, they were great bands there. But I would say, you know, really the Ed Sullivan Show is what I think I remember as kind of the pivotal point in my life.
Yeah, to change everything and turn everything upside down for yourself.
Well, we didn't know. I mean, we just wanted to make music, and I think you know, we'll let everybody kind of pitch in, but I just wanted to make music, and still that's what we want to do, is just make music.
Fantastic, yeah. I mean, and that's what you did. So what was the year then, the Ed Sullivan Show?
1964.
1964. And they did the consecutive weekends, didn't they, on the show,
Yes.
which is on a Sunday night.
Yes.
All of America, it was done coast to coast, as it's called.
Oh, yes, exactly.
We don't know too much about, but there are 5 different time zones in America, isn't there?
There's
4
4,
different
yes,
time
4 different time zones.
If you
yes.
count Hawaii, you might get a 5th one, I
get a
think.
5th,
But you know, I mean, and then to broadcast across time zones. I mean, if you get the 10 o'clock news here, and in 5 time zones, well, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon in California, you know, that kind of thing. So it gives you some idea how things work. And here it was, coast to coast, and America came to virtual standstill, I'm told.
Yes,
Is that right?
that's
and your
correct.
experience was you sat down in your various family homes
Yes.
and watched this thing unfold that
Yes.
we'd already seen 2 years of it. At this, from our perspective, and here was our band going across to America, and we didn't know how they were going to be accepted or not. But from the airport, from landing at the airport onwards, there was never any doubt about what was
Never
going
whatsoever.
to happen, and we couldn't believe it, just like you couldn't believe what you were hearing. And then the succession of bands that followed.
Yes.
Can you remember what kind of influences then that the next few bands came? Can you remember the next band that followed the Beatles on? And I know there were people.
Well, there's the Dave Clark 5, of course.
You introduce yourself, please.
This is Gio.
Gio,
I go by Gio because when I joined the band, actually I was going by George back then. We just kind of updated it.
Yeah.
And because we already had a Freddie in the band, and 2 Freds wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
So, which was interesting because then we had John was our original guitar player back then.
Yeah.
And so we had John, Paul, and George.
You did?
Yeah. And Watermelon Head.
Oh, right. That's an insider.
So I renamed him Bingo.
Oh, right.
So we had John, Paul, George, and Bingo.
Yeah. I mean, I'll bring Paul Davis in, the bass player. I mean, whereabouts were you in all this? And, were you similar to the other guys?
It's similar to it, yeah. I don't remember watching the Ed Sullivan Show because my parents never did watch it, so I never got to see the Beatles on TV, but, did a lot of radio listening.
Yeah.
So and I love the music. So and it was just special to be able to play that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, you emulated what hundreds of bands did in this country. We had no idea of the influence of this kind of music, which came and were born out of the north of England, and then successively down into London and with the Rolling Stones and the Who and people like that. It just came a huge UK phenomenon that hit America and the rest of the world, the Western world. And then it kind of, we at home, I lived 20 miles away from Liverpool and the Cavern, and I heard stories about these guys going down into the cellars and things like that, and playing music, and people coming back from it and saying, "Oh, wow." I was in short pants at school when this was going on initially. So what we were doing, just hearing these various stories, because our radio didn't cover much of popular music. We were lucky if we got a pop record played. The BBC, very, very conservative BBC, had to move kind of out of the last century in order to get to play pop music, for goodness sake. So it was all done at a very, very local level for us. And, of course, we were inspired too, because we had our local bands. Ours was the Beat Boys and bands like that, ipso facto, and play. They were our local heroes in Wigan here. And so we were getting inspired, just like you were, and you were 3,000 odd miles away. But the influence had carried, hasn't it? It carried across the Atlantic.
Very much so.
Very much.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to get on with the next part of the music. Second track down, Rock and Roll With Me, written by Ron Hamrick and Fred Bachman.
Ricky Lover, Mary Lou, and twisting and shouting was the latest thing to do. The British invasion, Motown and hardcore, rock and roll, rock and roll. Yeah, that's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. Give me more. That's rock and roll. I'll say come on, pretty baby, rock and roll. Oh, come on, pretty baby, rock and roll with me.
Wow, that's another track that particularly, kind of self-penned, as it were, for the band. And, the versatility kind of reaches beyond the boundaries of a lot of bands, because if you're writing your own songs, you've got a new dimension to your band.
Yes.
But originally you were doing covers. Now, the types of covers you were doing, what were you doing? Give me an idea of the type of cover songs you were covering back then and how you treated those songs.
It was actually back then. It was actually a pretty wide variety. A lot of, like Dave was saying a while ago, we had a lot of influence from Britain in terms of the Beatles, in terms of the Stones, and so forth. But
Could you name any particular tracks that you were doing back then?
For example, from the Stones, we would do "Last Time."
Yeah.
And we still do it today. Actually.
And you still do it today?
Still do it today.
Get Off My Cloud.
Anything
Get Off
else?
My Cloud, yes.
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jumping Jack
Very
Flash.
much Rolling Stones influence then. Yeah. I mean, there were two schools of supporters here in the UK. You were either a Beatles fan or you're a Stones fan. You could never be both. Which is, of course, ridiculous, but that's the way it was.
And over there, we were both. We really were. And, and still are. One of the things that I think we're known for back in the States is actually that versatility. We play everything from blues songs to hard rock and roll songs to very
Jerry and the
smooth
Pacemakers
songs.
Yeah. And I know
Danny
the
and
next,
the Juniors.
Yes, Danny and the Juniors.
Danny and the Juniors.
Yes.
I love them.
Yes.
Well, did you do anything like the American icons are Elvis Presley, of course, Chuck Berry, Little Richard.
We did Chuck Berry. We did Roll Over Beethoven and Johnny Be Good.
Yeah.
Were probably the two. Elvis, we really didn't touch any of Elvis.
No, I don't ever remember doing an Elvis song. No.
Yeah. It goes to show that that was the kind of, from my point of view personally, we avoided the kind of Elvis-ish. Let's face it, he had a damn good voice.
Yes,
and
exactly.
who can copy him and get away with it? Well, millions do now, but I know. But back then, nobody ever dared
Yes,
cover
it wasn't
any
a
of his
cottage
songs.
industry like it is now.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We've got
And I think what the difference between the band now and the band then was, back in the day we were straight covers, and so if we were doing anywhere from the Monkees to the Young Rascals, or Blood, Sweat and Tears, we were trying to do it as close to the song as we could.
Yeah.
Today, we certainly are getting our personalities after all these years listening to lots of different music. Each one of us, we're bringing something different to the table.
Yeah, and with the songs themselves, you don't kind of try and copy the songs you were telling me before over lunch. How do we? Tell me what your particular treatment of a particular cover song.
We try to break it down some and bring our own sound to it. And one of the advantages we have there is with multiple keyboards, we're able to bring a lot of different orchestration in.
Right. Yeah.
Which is you couldn't do on stage back then. There are things you can do now performing that were really quite impossible back then.
I mean, in a sense, then if you take a song, perhaps a well-known song, you strip it down and rebuild it. As you're rebuilding it, you're becoming you're kind of owning a part of the production of that song. You may not own the song itself, but you become part of that song because you put that bit in and you did it that way because you felt that was the way you should be treated.
That's exactly right. And you hear something different, or at least I do, I guess. You hear something different in my head related to that song from what the original was, and we each just start building elements into it. And we've known each other a very, very long time. And when we start fitting things in, it just kind of gels. And I think a lot of that is because we have known each other for so long.
Yeah.
We know all of our capabilities. We know who does what part the best, all of that kind of thing. So it just fits together.
And you've produced 5-part harmonies.
Yes, we do.
You all sing.
Yes, we do.
That is particularly unique because there's not many bands with 5 members in it that have 5 voices.
But bigger than that, we've got 5 lead singers.
5
we've got
lead
5
singers.
of us that sing lead.
You can all handle a lead.
We all
handle
handle
lead.
And then
yes.
you handle vocal harmony behind it all.
Yeah.
You've got the business with the keyboards, guitar, bass guitar, and
drums. Come on,
No,
drums.
no drums.
No drums.
No,
Yeah.
no
No
drums.
drums. He even left it all. He left it off. Left it to the very end.
drums. Yeah, you're right.
He's the handsome one. He's the smart one. He's the witty one, and the drummer.
Yeah, we've heard all the drummers' jokes, haven't we?
We have more.
Yeah.
I know they do. And you know, and we were going to talk, and that really is full circle of where we are right now.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I had gone on Facebook and saw this lanky something. I didn't know what. I thought lanky was meant tall, and so I went onto the website and I was really so impressed by what you're doing, Bill, with keeping the music alive in the lanky land.
Oh, thank you. Of course, that refers to the LANKYBEAT website, and,
Yes.
which is www.lankybeat with a K, ALANKY, BEAT.com, and get onto that, and you'll find another 300 bands on there that are
Yes.
all operating and working out of Lancashire. Between the mid-50s and of course the 1975-ish, about a 20-year period of that, and I decided to put that archive together because it wasn't there, simply there.
And it's very impressive.
Merseyside, if you go to the Merseyside and Merseybeat types of site, you'll see all the bands listed there. You go to Manchester, and they're all listed there, but nothing in Lancashire, you know, where I was, and 20 miles away from both cities. And there's a big omission here, and there's a lot of stories to be told. So that's that little bit. But we've kind of digressed onto something, and I want to kind of remove ourselves from that just for a minute, and we can always go back to it, and to say about the next song that I got running up here. And running up is the word, because it's called Runaway. Now then, this is a cover, yeah?
Yes, it is.
This is a cover. Now tell me why you decided to do Runaway. Now, first of all, who made the song Runaway?
Del Shannon.
Del Shannon. That's because I couldn't remember myself. Right?
Another Michigan person, by the way.
Del was from, yeah. And I must admit, that was one of the songs that really did influence me. I loved that song, that Runaway. So you took that song way back then, and were you playing it back then?
No, actually we did not.
You didn't?
No.
So when did you pick that song up?
We picked it up, you know, when we got back together, we decided that was one of those classic songs. And Del being from Michigan, he's, and this is a little self-promotion, he was in the Michigan Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We were just elected into the Michigan Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which we're very, very proud and humbled by. And it is the perfect song, and the keyboards did a spectacular job of working it up, and it's a joy to be singing it. There's 3 singers on this,
Fantastic.
so it's
fantastic. I've heard this kind of CD quite a few times because I played it at home because I've had it in my possession for about 6 months.
Yes,
now,
you have.
Which kind of brings us back to what David was saying about how he met me on Facebook. But we're going to talk about that later. But first of all, here is that particular song, all stripped down, all rebuilt, and produced in the way that the 6th generation and only they can do.
As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love, the love that was so strong. so strong. And as I still walk on, I think of the things we've done together while our hearts were young. I'm a walking in the rain, tears are falling, I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery. And I wonder why she ran away, and I wonder where she will stay, my little runaway. I'm a walking in the rain, tears are falling, I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery. And I wonder why she went away, and I wonder where she will stay, my little runaway. I'm a walking in the rain, tears are falling, I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery. And I wonder why she went away, and I wonder where she will stay, my little
Del Shannon. I nearly said Den Shannon. I don't know where that came from, but there you go. Del Shannon's cover, and that was the Sixth Generations version. I mean, you told me a bit, whilst just a little bit a few minutes ago, Fred, about something you'd like to say about that particular song and your contribution to it.
Well, actually, I was playing very straight the original solo,
Yeah.
which was a classic. It was one of the first artificial keyboards, if you will, like a pre-synthesizer.
Of course, we're taking it for granted,
Yeah.
aren't we, that we had synthesizers, though. We didn't have anything like it, did
Nothing
we?
like that at all. And his name escapes me, but he had invented this keyboard
Mr.
and then played that. It was a sound
Mr.
nobody
Moog?
had ever heard
was
before.
Was it Mr. Moog? Moog
No, it
synthesizer?
was,
No, it was. It was.
I can't remember. It was Del
Anyway.
Shannon's partner that actually did it.
Yeah.
Right, so you got that particular,
I just played that straight because it's so good.
Yeah.
And then Ron developed a really nice counterpoint to it,
yeah, that's that.
which so he plays against me, and it really comes
Yeah.
off very well, I think.
It's so interesting, the insight on finding out how actually a song is put together, and I for one now know how things are put together, but the majority of people don't understand how songs are actually constructed and put together, and that's a lovely little insight as to how things are done, and the dynamic between the band members, and the spin-off from this and the spin-off from that, and it all becomes such a massive creative energy, all tied up in a song called Runaway.
And I'll tell you, actually, there's a Beatles influence that I built into that song also. I don't know if you noticed, but if you go back to the Del Shannon version, it's very straight, 3-chord kind of a thing. But what we did when we put this song together was there is a half step. And I don't want to get too musically technical here, but it's a thing that the Beatles very often did in their music, and at the very beginning of it, you can hear it whenever the keyboards come in with that da 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 da. That's not something that's straight out of Del Shannon.
Right. Nice stuff. Which brings us on to the track called Love Potion No. 9, which I was kind of brought up on before I even started to play drums. Right, Love Potion No. 9.
It came out of Liverpool, didn't it?
I don't know where the origin. It was written by Jerry Leiber and Mike Stoller.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it was standard number for every band who ever played live in those days, without it being a massive hit. It was never, I don't remember it being a massive hit. Certainly not back then.
It was a pretty good-sized hit in the States.
Yeah.
However, we never played it.
We never did, no.
I know. And Love Potion No. 9, it's got a lot of connotations these days as well, hasn't it?
Yes.
Sinister connotations, I would say. Some of the lyrics, she bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She went on to mix it up in the sink.
Right.
Mix what up in the sink? Goodness me. I closed my eyes,
It was Kool-Aid. It was an energy drink, I'm sure.
I know. It must have been.
It must have been.
It wasn't Coca-Cola or anything like that, was it?
No. It smelled like turpentine. It looked like
Indian ink. Yeah. I held my nose. I closed my eyes. I took a drink. Whoa! I didn't know if it was even day or night.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well, again, we were innocent back in those days. You just sang the words, and really, it's what we're doing here. It's a fun song.
Yeah.
And Freddie does, JJ, our lead singer, does such a great job on it, acting it out. And it's a fun thing to watch on stage.
Ah, fantastic. And you did the cover, and you put some extras in, didn't you, Ron? Tell me what that
we did.
was.
We put backing vocals in where we actually do a stir it up, drink it down backing vocal on it.
Yeah.
And in fact, very often after people have heard it, they'll come up to us and ask us, "Can you play that Stir It Up, Drink It Down song?"
And here it is,
Yeah,
Love Potion No. 9.
Troubles down to Madame Ruth. And drink it down. You know that gypsy with a gold cap too. She's got a storefront at 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of Love Potion No. 9. And drink it down. Stir it up. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. And drink it down. I've been that way since 1966. She looked at my palm and she gave a magic sign. She said, "What you need is Love Potion No. 9. And drink it down." She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, "I'm gonna mix it up right here in the sink." It smelled like turpentine, it looked like India ink. I held my nose,
I closed my eyes,
I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside. But when I kissed the cop down at 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of Love Potion No. 9. And drink it down. mix it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like India ink. I held my nose,
I closed my eyes,
I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night.
drink it down.
I started kissing everything inside. But when I kissed the cop down at 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. Love potion number 9.
Nice. See you in a bit. See ya.
You don't mind me just singing the song? At the end?
Absolutely
Not at
not.
all. Join right in.
Great.
We hope crowds sing
Okay, you
along.
guys. What did you do? What do you do? What are you doing here now? Why are you here, Dave?
Well, you and I met on Facebook, and we had I sent you the CD, and then you and Ron had talked on the telephone, and 8 months later we're sitting in. I mean, we were at Liverpool last night, Ron and I, for a meeting. We met you for the first time. We're in England.
Is that what this
Why
is?
is
It's a lovely country.
Yeah, it was a long flight.
Why are you here though?
We are here for a very special tour that you helped organize, Bill. Very very much a part of.
Yes, I know. I'm teasing you.
Yes,
with what
and
I'm
we are
saying.
very excited about the opportunity of being here. You know, we've mentioned that there was a big influence on us from this area. There absolutely certainly was, and we are very excited to be here and
Humbled.
and live it. You know.
That's nice. That's nice. Because I sent out an invitation initially, didn't I? And
Yes.
It was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, and I thought, I'll try you out. So I sent them an invitation to play at the Cavern Club, because LANKYBEAT are playing this Sunday at the Cavern Club, and we successfully did the same thing last year, so we decided to repeat it all again with different bands, and I thought, why not invite the sixth generation to
And
play?
you know, people say, is that a dream come true? No, it wasn't even a dream because it couldn't come true. It wasn't even on our bucket list. You know what a bucket list is?
Absolutely.
Well, it wasn't even on a bucket list because you don't put something on a bucket list that you would never, ever be able to accomplish.
Absolutely.
And to have this come true, it's a miracle, and it's a dream come true.
Well, I do know that it's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of this and that and t'other, as they say around here,
Yes.
to get the thing in motion and get you guys over here and get you playing. Tonight you do your UK debut at LANKYBEAT's Standish Unity Club.
Yes.
And then, Ron, tell us the other gigs that I got lined up for you. You tell,
You tell us, Ron.
folks. You tell us, Ron. I'll help you out.
Some were Saturday, some were Sunday. I think we're off on Monday.
Well, we have, I believe it's a total of 9 performances that we're doing over here over the next 2 weeks. And we are in Wigan tonight. Tomorrow we're
Standish,
actually, yes, at the Standish Unity Club. Tomorrow night we are off. Saturday night we are at, I've forgotten the order they are, Bill, but
It's the Sacred Heart
it's the
Club in
Sacred Heart
Wigan.
Club
Yeah.
in Wigan,
Yeah.
yes. And then Sunday is at the Cavern Club.
What time?
We are on at 12:30.
Yes, indeed, 12:30. That's in
12:30.
the afternoon, folks.
And-
So if you want to get down there, we'll get the bands rolling, and with 7 bands on there on Sunday.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, and we are very much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Then on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to do a little bit of the touring of your great country.
Right. Where are you off to?
Some of us are going down to London,
Right.
actually.
Okay.
Some of us have never been down there,
Fantastic.
and going to do
It'll be a
things like
whistle-stop tour, though.
it will
we
indeed.
won't find much time to
and
stay there.
I think
once
I think
you're
one of the highlights is Abbey Road, actually.
there. Oh, right,
So-
right, yeah.
My
And then-
wife and I are snaking away to the city of York, and we are going to go to the Railroad Museum.
Oh, what a place!
And
Yeah.
and I guess so. I'm going to whistle stop that.
Fantastic, fantastic. You're going to have a ball there, David. Yeah, going to have
Thank
a ball.
you.
Then you're back for Wednesday. What are you doing
We're
on
back
Wednesday?
for Wednesday is Latham Hall, is it not?
It's the Birkdale Beat.
The Birkdale Beat,
Yeah,
yes,
and
that's
that's
right.
near Southport.
Near
At
Southport,
Birkdale, near
yes.
Southport, yeah. Then Thursday we double up on Thursday night.
Yes, we have 2 performances.
Yeah, yeah. And you remember what they were? This Mersey Cats.
Mercy Cats.
That's at
at
the Holy Rosary.
At the Holy Rosary Club, yes.
Yeah.
And then at 11 o'clock, I believe it is, we perform at the Latham Hall.
The
yes,
Latham Hall, yeah,
with
which
Mercy
is
Rats.
for Mersey Rats.
Yes.
And they're in the former is in Aintree, and the latter is in Litherland, near Liverpool, near the docks, right? Seaforth, near the docks. And then you got a day off on the Friday.
Friday,
Then
yes.
On the Friday, then on the Saturday, another double up.
Yes, and we are playing up in your hometown, right?
Yeah, I used to live in Adlington,
Yes.
near Chorley, and it's Adlington Carnival. Wow, the highlight of the village year, I can tell you.
And,
oh boy!
and we are very much looking forward to it. And
Yeah.
and in the evening we're playing the Swinley and
the Swinley Club in Wigan.
Yes.
Wow! And then on the plane the following day. Is that what you're
I think we have is that Saturday, Sunday? We fly out on Monday.
We fly out on Monday, yes.
On Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So, in effect, around about 10 days to 11 days has covered the entire trip. Yep.
And then the other days will be again sightseeing around lovely your lovely country, and we'll just have to come back to make sure I did everything. We can do everything else.
If they let you back.
Talking about coming back already, and they haven't even started.
We are indeed.
The tour tonight.
Oh, and by the way, if you come tonight, you're going to see Mr. Bill actually sitting in with us on the drums on one song. So
yeah.
there's
a
a hook to have you come in. You already practiced with us today.
I practiced with them this morning, and they want me to do a little session on a song called Lullaby.
And did you enjoy yourself?
I certainly did. It was a highlight of my life, I'm telling you. Oh, blimey. This song next, Glad I Didn't Die Before I Got Old. Tell me about that.
That's a very interesting. I'll let Dave. That was Dave's brainchild, and it's great.
Yeah. So here's a drummer writing a song, but I listened to the Who, and the Who had My Generation, and in that song it says, "I hope I die before I get old." And we're not my generation, we're the 6th generation. We decided that we're really glad we didn't die before we got old.
So this song is a tribute to who? The Who.
Who's that?
Of course.
What?
Hope I die before I get old. And here it goes.
Glad I didn't die before I got old. I look in the mirror, see my father staring back. The 60s have long faded and I'm further down the track. Now I'm in my 60s and my bones begun to crack. But in my head the memories keep on flooding back. Love your life, change what you can, accept the rest, live it to the end. So you better love the life you have. Glad I didn't die before I got old. Glad I didn't die before I got old. Music always moved me, the beat is where it's at. I swivel my hips and do the twist, really takes me back. Watching it, black and white was good as it could get. From the Beatles to the Stones, one thing is clear to me here. From kid to dead, I'm on my own. Am I ready for this? Life won't slow down. You better love the life you had. Glad I didn't die before I got old. Glad I didn't die before I got old. door before. The children of my children, I am pop forevermore. My hair is salt and pepper, but my footprints in the sand. Making music with my brothers, the sixth generation band. Love your life, change what you can, accept the rest. To the end, you better love the life you have. Glad I didn't die before I got old. Glad I didn't die before I got old. Glad I didn't die before I got old. Glad you didn't die before you got old. Glad we didn't die before we got old. Glad I didn't die before I got old. So you better love the life you have. Yes, you better love the life you have. Now you better love the life you have.
Right, okay, that's it. We're nearly to the end of the show. We promised you that we would play the last song, which is you give me the kind of background to this last song, will you, Fred? And tell me how that it connects with the first song we played in the program. The first song was That Was the Time, written by Ron here, and then this song is called This Is the Time, and written by Fred and yourself and Ron in 1967. This is your original version, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Tell me about it, Fred.
We weren't songwriters really. I think we tried to come up with something that was a little bit like what we were playing at the time. I think we borrowed from who did Hang On Sloopy?
McCoys.
The McCoys,
yeah,
yes.
we borrowed a little bit from that. We borrowed a little bit from Aretha Franklin, who did her Hey Hey Heys, and that's in the song. The slide at the beginning is from the McCoys, but
And
the lyrics, I couldn't come up with any title, and my mom, she suggested This Is the Time. Oh, what the heck,
That's the title of the song. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but yes, Mom came up with the title.
Fantastic. That's what mums are for.
That's
Yes.
what mums are
Yeah,
for.
right,
That's right.
certainly. I'm so impressed because it actually has kind of created a bit of a stir in back home where you are, hasn't it?
If I could, I wanted to just recognize Ron and Fred that This Is the Time was elected June 1st into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends as this year's #1 vote getter in the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Song of the Year. So This Is the Time that Fred and Ron wrote. We're really proud of them. And they were awarded plaques 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done, guys. Give them a round of applause. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Written and recorded in 1967.
Yes.
Wow. Let's hear it.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Is this the time? Will you be mine? Girl, I want to be with you forever. Not knowing when, not knowing whether. Just as long as we can be together. I know that my love is strong enough. Say you'll be mine, and it's okay. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Is this the time? Girl, please be mine. Baby, won't you please stop keeping me waiting? There's really no need for hesitate. Now, when we could have us such a sweet love. If you would love me, if you would love me, then you'll see. Say you'll be mine, and it's okay. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Please don't ever say goodbye. Never hurt me or make me cry. If you just try, I know we could get by. This is the time, girl, please be mine. This is the time, end of the line.
I can't believe how well that recording has come out. It's fantastic. Well done, you guys.
Thank you.
1967.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Which, well, sadly, brings us to the end. But I've had a ball here listening to you guys and what you've been telling me. And, you know, I don't think I formally welcomed you to Lankyland, really. But welcome to Lankyland.
Great to be.
Thank you.
great
It's great
to
to
be
be here.
Welcome to the
Absolutely.
Lanky Beat Show.
Thanks, Bill.
You have graced the Lanky Beat Show. It's now down on tape forever, or is that a CD? Is it down digitally, Diane? Diane has done the show again. Diane, she is brilliant. Diane Herring, give her a round of applause.
Absolutely.
Thank
you, Diane.
Bill, I think they call it an 8-track these days.
Oh.
The kids call it an 8-track. She's got it down to.
Right. So farewell, and we'll see you a bit later. We're going down to Lanky Cats tonight to do the first ever show, like I said before. David, say goodbye.
Thanks, everybody. I hope to meet each and every one of you. Come out and see one of our shows. Go to our website or go to Lanky,
What's your website?
the6thgeneration.com, or go to Lanky Cats.
Yep, Lanky Cats with a K.
Yep.
That's LANKYKATS.com. Yep.
And they've got our schedule on there also. Thank you so much, Bill. It's been a pleasure. Diane, thank you very much.
Ron.
Appreciate it very much, Bill, all the help that you've given us. We are really looking forward to the tour here, and we're going to have a rockin' show tonight, so I hope there's a lot of people there.
Fantastic. Paul.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Fred.
I'd just like to say that it's fab to be here.
That's terrible.
Well, it's fab to have you, Fred. And Fred Bachman.
Yes, thank you, Bill, and we hope anybody that sees us tonight comes out and does a little dancing, because we seem to be even more excited to play when we can get people up on the dance floor.
He goes on a bit, doesn't he? He goes on a bit. Oh, never mind. Fantastic. Brandon, you are fantastic. Come on, say goodbye.
Thank you. Look forward to meeting you all, and come out and let's just keep on rocking.
Absolutely. That ends the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Here is the play out.